Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a possible wedge fake-out breakout that happens to be right inside of a supply zone right above us on gold here. So taking a look at gold, every time we've come up into this area, we've bounced out. We've had it several times, and we rejected it here, rejected it actually multiple times here, once, twice, three times. You could argue four times on this wick right here, five times, and now we're coming right back up in again. Not only that, but we also created an excess supply zone just underneath the overall large one that we're pushing in and through right back up into that supply zone again. Now, because we've rejected it so many times, we already know, without even a shadow of a doubt, that the sellers are definitely defending this position. This sell zone has been holding since, boy, let's keep going back until we find it, all the way back on the 12th. So they've been holding this for, and that's the 12th of December, by the way. This sell zone has been here for a very long time, and every time we've come up into that area, they're defending it. So what I'm looking for, because it's the first break of the wedge high, usually see a fake out and then come back down regardless, just off of the patterning. But because we're also coming into a very heavy supply zone up here, as well as looking at the entry chart, the previous high of day is also right at 1254.5. So there's a lot of factors that are going to be holding this market down. So not only do we have an inside-out pattern possibly setting up, but we also have a huge supply zone above us, a wedge above us. I mean, there's so many factors to the sell side on gold right now that you'd almost be crazy to be looking at the buy side. Now, with that said, I will be considering the buy side if we can stay above this wedge high. We do need to crack above that 1256.5, though. That's the high of that the supply zone up there. Until we break that zone up there, it's not really going to be the best pattern for us to look for a buy side. It's going to be predominantly to the sell side. So what I'm looking for here is a 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern to bring us straight back down again. I'm looking at selling this right back down to 1243, the bottom of the wedge. If this can really get some legs, even down to the BMT at 1234.9. Typically, though, the average that we've seen of rejecting this zone has been, right around, well, let's see here. The first rejection was down 109 ticks. The second rejection was down 75. So we'll be looking probably about 60 or 70 tick rejection here to the downside. So let's flip over to our entry chart here. And now we have a 1, 2, 3 reversal, so that's exactly what we want to see. And the sellers are coming in very, very strong. So what I want to do is I want to get ready here and place my limit order to sell. And I'm going to be looking at selling at 1253.4. Actually, I'm going to be using the overall. Let's go to 1253.7, just because this high up here, 1254.9, is directly inside of this supply zone up here. I want to be using that high of day. In this case, the high of day along with the supply zone. There's a lot of factors for me to be looking at the overall high instead of the intermediate high. Both will work. The 1254.2 high is going to be a little bit more aggressive. So we'll see if we can get our fill at 1253.7. Once we get filled, I'll be looking at an overall target to the downside of, like I said, all the way down to 1243.0 if we can get it, or to the wedge lows. Predominantly, my initial stop is going to be 5 ticks, so from 53.7 to 54.3, so not a very big stop at all. I'm not willing to risk that much on this. Because they defend this so aggressively, there's no reason for me to hold a very large stop. There's no point. So looking to the downside, overall, the target's going to be quite a bit further down. Once we get 10 ticks or so in our favor, the stop will move to break even, and we'll just let it trail on the way down. So we'll see what we can get on this trade. Now, there are a couple things that I really like about this setup right off the bat. First of all, we've broken under the BMT. That's a big, big factor. But secondly, we didn't test and didn't break through the second BMT, or the bigger one. Now, the reason that's nice is because when you come close to the BMT and come back up again, this is going to start acting as a magnet. It's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, so it's going to suck price right back down into it. Now, if that happens, that's going to give us an easy break even, at least to our plus 10, and then we'll allow the rest of the trade just to continue, and we'll be able to milk the profits right out of it. So, again, looking at 1253.7 for the entry, looking for an overall downside target at 1243, and we'll see if we can get that hit. So we'll come back once we get our fill and get a little bit of price action going here, and then we'll see how we do. All right, guys, we're back. I don't think you could ask for really a better setup than this. I mean, it worked out just phenomenal. We had our entry trigger in at 1253.7. Only took one tick of heat, so the 5-tick stop was even too big, which is really nice considering this is crude oil. I'm sorry, gold, where 5 ticks can move very fast. Now that first leg down got us to move our stop to break even. Did challenge that a little bit, came pretty close, but then started falling right back down again, and we trailed this all the way down to 1246.4. Now this move right here, if you look at the timestamps, happened very quickly. The reason I didn't get taken out here at this double bottom is just because this happened so fast. By the time I realized and was able to catch up to it, I was able to place my stop here and luckily get out at the same area. If this would have kept rising, just simply open up the chart trader and hit close. But in this case, overall, I mean, a phenomenal trade. We didn't get all the way down to that 1243. However, we did get, measuring from our entry at 53.7 down to our exit, all the way down at 46.4, 73 ticks. Huge runner on this move down. And gorgeous patterning. I mean, every one of these moves down was a near perfect wave pattern by itself. There were so many opportunities to get in this move to the downside that even if you miss this first rejection up here, you had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... this move too fast, so 7 times to get into this trade. So very good trade to the downside. And look, it's still falling. The sellers have this thing hugely to the downside. So overall, awesome trade. 73 ticks in the bag, and that's going to be the trade for today. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. We'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we can. Have a good one. Bye.